course, it's the middle of the night. It's 3:30. It seems like it's just my wake up time now. It seems to be 1:45 because I was laying in there and laying in there and laying in there for a long time. I was like, I'm not going back to sleep. I may as well get up. And then it always starts where I start hearing, like I'm sure Stella is crying somewhere. And know that there's some energy that sends, I don't know, it's weird. And then I started to get up and I looked down and she's just laying right there. I was like, weird. So I just lay back down and tried to relax, try to go back to sleep. It was impossible. I was like, fuck it, I'm getting up. And then I come out. I was like, I don't know, 2:07 or something. I was like, what in the hell? Why do I keep waking up so early? Man, when I started waking up at 3, I thought that was early. Now it's, fuck, god damn. It really stretches out the day, I'll tell you what. When the days that seem like either just redundant, go on and on, groundhog day, same day on repeat, then it is, and I know it's not the same day overall on repeat. I know there's a lot of shit going on, but in my life, it's very much day after day the same thing. And so, I was like, fuck, I don't start the day. And it's like, I gotta have more time for sleep. And yesterday, I didn't ever sleep the whole time until last night when I went to bed. And I swear to God, I could barely keep my eyes open. Me23 kept messaging me. I don't know. I thought he's in a later time zone even. And he's wide awake, chatty. And I'm like, I can't even keep my eyes open. I've got to go to bed. And so I don't even know what time that was. It seems like I was like, I'm sure. Oh, yeah, because I turned off the light for the plants. It was like 8:15. And then I laid down and it's like 1 second and I'm out. As soon as I lay down and shut my eyes, I'm gone. And so it was before 8:30, but still 1:30. God, I think going about at 8:30 should be getting up time like 4:30. That seems reasonable. But all these things, it's like it keeps trying to show me that it's like an illusion, the things that we think we need and stuff. Like we've gone through this period of time where, yeah, we had to eat. Everything needs food. Plants, everything needs food. And we have been in that, but we're in this transition now. And it definitely has something to do with us realizing who and what we are. And how we get energy. That is why so many people, as they transition into spirituality, they start transitioning in their diet. They start changing their diet because I know, you got your vegans, but then you got your raw people. And the raw people think they're over the vegan people. Then you got the berry people. And you got people who just live off berries. And they're above the other people because we all need to live off berries. But then you get these people over here who say, no, our bodies, we need to have this. No, our bodies, we need to have that. We all have to decide for ourselves. We all listen to our own bodies because that's the thing. And it's so crazy too because the vegans, but they promote the veganism because they're bringing in all of this. I mean, you look at the ingredients list on the vegan stuff. It is getting further and further away from natural to convince people to follow a regimented diet, a regime on your food that takes you away from you right there. Nobody else should be telling you how to eat, when to eat, or anything. Your body tells you. You don't need a fucking government to come in and tell you. You don't need doctors to come in and tell you, oh, here's the diet that we follow. Everybody do that. And then we can look around and see, like, is this working? Is this working? So in the past couple decades, we've gone from normal size healthy people to extreme obese sick people. So, we got to see what's working and what's not working. And then we got to take moves towards what works and what doesn't work. And taking responsibility for our own bodies, our own diet, our own way of seeing things is important. And I swear, I go off on these things and I don't even know where, I have no idea, like, that I'm going off there. That's why I said that there's so many times I'll listen back and I'll be like, I just say things. I'm telling you, you have access to so much information when you just tap in. Like this whole thing of even talking about the stuff they tell. And I know it has to do with the time we're in. You know, that wasn't how I lived my life before. Even if I said things that my insights and stuff to people, people thought I was a downer, like, oh, you think you know what's going to happen all the time. I'd always be right. I can see far ahead. I'm surprised how far ahead I can see. But I just know these are all things that we can all do. We have access to all of these things. You can look ahead. Somehow, I mean, I can just see ahead. It's not like I was aware that I was trying to look ahead. Somebody could be telling me something and I just see it. It just comes, it's just there. And then I can just say what I see. And it can be way ahead. And like I said, it's just like, I mean, I don't know. There could be times where I was wrong or something didn't happen or whatever, but I don't know. I think that we can see ahead a lot. I just think we are trying to look through veils of distortion of, double confirmation. So anyways, we're trying to look through veils of distortion, but that's where the soul has to see that and, you know, reel back to our own vision. We have to look like, what are we looking through? Why are we looking through this? How are we looking through this? Why? What is holding us to continue to look through this and see it this way? Why can't I look around and see it in other ways? Why can't I change my perspective? Why do I always have to see it this way? You know, we're so programmed that we don't even know we're programmed. I mean, and that is a part, to me, a part of the awakening is, you know, that realizing. I think that's the part is going to be really hard on people, too, when they do wake up on this. Because of just the realization how cut off you are from yourself. And I think there's going to be shame around it. Because your soul is who you are. And when you're cut off from yourself, in order to please others, and it's all about this superficial, shallow world. So just depending on everybody's own insecurities and the way they feel about themselves is going to affect everybody different. But it's going to be, there's a reason why there's a lot of people who were having this be their awakening, I think. I think it's going to be very impactful. Talk about ego work. There's going to be some big old ego work. So I think, you know, it's going to have a really good outcome. But it's a lot, you know. It's going to be a lot for all these people to take on, like where people think like they're so over them and these people are like, we're chosen. Those are just the ignorant NPCs and stuff. And then those people, what they're going to take on in their healing, they're going to, I mean, it will be warriors for sure. They're going to take on some extreme shit in their healing process of what they're going to be dealing with. And that's why we all have to be supportive of one another, you know, and see the big picture, the souls of the energy that we're moving forward with in our expansion, and not beat people down and make them feel bad. And you should have seen this, you should have seen that. No, you can't see anything until you're supposed to see it. It's like you're blinded to it. You can't see it. No matter how many, and everybody's got to have that experience. I've had it. Everybody has got to have had it, even if they can't remember. But somebody trying to tell you something, and you were like, you couldn't see it. But then eventually, all of a sudden, you could see what they were talking about. And it's weird, because then it's like, well, why couldn't I see it? You're not supposed to. It's not when you're supposed to see it. If you were supposed to see it, it would have been clear. Because that is why when you go through life in a spiritual path, you'll see the things that stand out and the things that don't. The things that stand out are supposed to stand out. They're your signs. They're your guidance. They're your bumper pads on the bowling rink game thing. You know, it's to keep you, because it is, you can't go off way out and do something. You know, like you can't go rogue in life. You're on a thing. The thing that feels like you is out of sync is because you're fighting the universe. You're fighting the natural progression, the natural thing. You're trying to fight that, so you feel offset. but you're trying to fight it because is like, is that I think it's so set up, but it's that kind of idea that they give you that you have some sort of control over things, like you can make things happen the way you want, even their whole idea of what they sell on manifesting. But it isn't, it's destiny. Whatever you're here for is destiny. You can't go off. And anything that you do go off, like, and then you have to get a brain injury and get pulled back in, you are always, that is a part of what your whole lesson thing was. That was a part of my thing. It isn't like, oh, well, that happened because, she couldn't keep it. No, you can't go off. Everything that happens exactly happens the way it's supposed to happen. The mistakes, the mishaps, every single thing. It is all, it's like, so you can see it play out. And things aren't supposed to be perfect. There is no perfect. Perfect is different for every single person. Every single soul has a different idea of perfection. So there is no overall perfection. There is no overall strive. We'll all, we have to strive to be our best. What's best for us? What is our best? Who are we? What are we doing to be our best? That's the thing. Not about, this perfect idea and that we can match everybody's perfect idea. We can be the perfect girl. We can be the perfect guy. It's impossible. And we have to come into peace, we've already had drama this morning. We got to come into peace as, with that concept. And I think it really helps when you really understand about destiny. The destiny is the set plan. It's the ride. It's you're birthed on. You get on the ride and the ride goes. And then you have things to help you because you, the avatar, because the being of light, the energy being that goes into the avatar. The avatar has sensors. So it's like you're going into a ride, you're going into a car, and then you're plugging in like the vehicle. We're the vehicle for the energy. And then we can expand into bigger vehicles, but there's a whole thing about why, even with the shoes and the everything, because we are the vehicle for the energy source. And so the energy has to plug in. It has to plug in the energy, in the avatar being thing, the hologram, the light, the it's like a projection, it is so cool because whenever I see the visual thing, it is like this giant outdoor stage and all these players up there playing their parts, but they're like a light projection. It's really cool. I'm telling you, it's so much more cooler than this thing that we used to think we were. But that is why they don't want us to understand, how really advanced and how, what we are. But, and so that they, is like so that they can like distract the vehicle, because they can't really do anything to you, the light, like even if you seem tricked, this is where I think the people are having so much conflict inside themselves, so much anxiety and shit like that, is because they can trick the avatar part of you, the sensor part, the part that's reading the sensors. They know how to trick it. They know how to, with the frequency, the chemicals to keep it like, like putting in bad gas and running it in low gear and and then don't put the right kind of fluids in it, put the wrong kind of fluids, just keep it all running all, and then the sensors, how they, something about like, it can draw your attention towards like, It's kind of like going down in billboards, catching your thing. And so that's why they use all this distraction to keep you from this connection into yourself. But like the vehicle part, they can distract. They can like do all these tricks, this trickery or whatever, but they can't trick your soul. Your soul can't be tricked. But it is like this, it's like a Wi-Fi connection that they interfere with. And so it's like the soul, it's like the vehicle is not as in tune to the soul. Like the vehicle's so distracted by the billboards, by all the sensors, by the overload, by the wrong fluids and stuff. It's so distracted that it's not listening to the driver. It's like almost in panic mode, trying to drive through a forest, and it's overloaded. It's too much stimuli, and it is kind of in a meltdown phase, kind of in a panic or something. It is overloaded. And that's why we're seeing all these people who are just losing their fucking minds. But so it's kind of like a overload or something. And then you have the soul. The soul is always going to catch you. The soul is the sense. It's the solid part of you. It's the part of you that's the calming. It's the part of you that is the higher minded part of you. It is the part of you that's connected to more than just the sensor. It's connected to the sensor, but the sensor is the ride. The vehicle is God, the problem. That's why you have to learn to manage the vehicle. You have to learn to manage the things that cause it problems, like what it takes in, which is, when everything on the shelf is, got a problem, then, that's an obstacle. So we've got things that they've got us up against a wall. Like I've said the whole time, like we're waking up at the mouth of the beast. They've got us up against a wall on some of this shit. Like we should have never become so dependent on corporate food. And they showed their signs for fucking years. That the horrible corporate farm videos, those things were out like 10, 15, 20 years ago. And I don't even know if all the people saw them. I know the people who would see them would become outraged. I knew it formed groups that went out and started trying to fight these, unethical corporate farms and stuff. But still, it still goes on. We're still, supporting them. We're still eating their food. None of us went off and said, no way, I'm not eating that garbage anymore. And started just farming back then. It only happened since 2020, and we all had that awareness. That's why, we can know things, but there's another part, and it has to do with our learning. It's not like we're doing it wrong. That's our judgment on ourselves. Like whenever you woke up is when you were supposed to wake up. It's like all these people who are going to wake up. And I saw another person, which this person, it kind of just irritated me anyways, because he was just like one of those guys who's like, if you want to know what's going on the 23rd, I'll tell you what's going on and blah, blah, blah. And if I'm not your life coach, then what are you doing? And I was just like, that is not true spiritual teaching. Because there's no true spiritual teacher knows that the thing is that the independence for the soul. You wouldn't go through somebody else and have them tell you how to do things. You would always tell the person, for them, that they've got to see what do they want? What are they learning? What are they figuring out? It's about their journey. You can't go in and then coach a whole bunch of people. You're going to coach all these people because you're so fucking profound. You got the insight to everybody what they need to do with their life. That's why I said some of this show is going to flip, and we're going to see some. There's already such crazy shit happening. It's crazy. Like some of these storylines, it's like, what? But, you know, when you're looking at those spiritual eyes, and, you know, the soul came up with that storyline, and it's almost like, God, some of them, it's like, where in the hell did you come up with this shit? And then some of them is almost like, what the fuck? Are you just trying to traumatize us all? Like, Jesus, you just got to be outrageous? Like, can't we just have some just regular shit happen? Just some regular disasters? Everybody got to outdo everybody else on the disasters? I'm talking not on the natural or the weather disasters. I'm talking about trauma things in families, and oh my God, so horrific shit is going on. Like even knowing all that time back of like where it was headed, but to go through it and see the headlines and see, it's like, God damn, this is disgusting. It's gross. And but what was I wanting to say? Because it was because the soul, okay, because your soul has its own vibration. So your soul is at a different vibration. And so wherever you are, just like all these aliens that everybody's so scared of, they're out there on their vibration. And you're interacting with them out there in your soul world because it's all on vibration. It's not like this where we're at. It is like the heavens is like a open space of realities and energy. I think when it shows those things about space and all these giant planets and things, energy going around and sparkles and stuff, I think it's more like that. And then us as souls being energy, we are those sparkles that are going around. We just go around and do whatever we want. We can go experience. When there's a place like this that is a experiencing place, you can project yourself in, and everybody's here having all these experiences. There's all sorts of that kind of stuff. And I don't know all the process, you know. I don't know if in like one split second you're, flying around the universe. Another split second you've got a whole birth plan and you're planned into a whole family. Like, I don't know, if it takes time, to come up with storylines. Like, I don't know how it all goes. But I know it is like all like where they call it soul contract. Like the script is written. It's like written before you come in. That's why I said it. It's like everything happens the way it's supposed to happen. Nothing can happen off script. You're on the script. It's like it's set. You're birthed in and you don't know you're on the script, but it's programmed into you. It's just automatic. It's written. It's written in the stars. And then you're just a player. So your soul, it vibrates way higher. And that is also has to do with the chakra system, because then you're working on soul stuff. Because your soul is what's in there, is the energy being. And it is kind of like you treat your vehicle when you're not healing and releasing stuff throughout your life and you're holding on to resentment, anger, and bitterness and stuff. It's kind of like you're a trash compactor. And you just keep pushing it down and pushing it down. And see, that's the energy sources, like your root chakra. And so you're pushing all this garbage down to try and hold on to it. And it's no wonder through, time, how people begin to like have to drink or eat or something to help hold it in. Like they need a crutch. Confirmation. They need a crutch to try and hold it in, because it isn't how we should be trying to, it's like that is a part of the dysfunction the distortion that they get us to not really take care of the vehicle in the right way. Because in this time where we're going to have this jump, like this quantum jump, and while everybody is awakening and, noticing they've got gifts and stuff like that when they connect to their soul, is that expansion of those gifts, of us going more into our soul, more into our real vibration, and beginning to, is like, it's like seeing the vehicle different than how we saw it before. It's like putting an all new Wi-Fi system in so that you are connected to yourself. So it's like an overhaul. Is that overall? An overhaul of your entire being through this period of time of disconnect from 3D, disconnect from who you thought you were. That whole world, that whole thing was a different world. And you have to be fluid to move from one world to the next world. That is a part of the evolution. That is a part of who you are as your soul. You can move from one world to the next world. That's why you can be energy just up there just zapping around and go from one world to another world. Here is more cumbersome and heavy because it's a deep, dark energy. That's why there's so much battlefield here with the darker energy, the influence, the darker influence, because of the it has to do with the frequency and the frequency, how it is it needs that low heavy frequency to create the illusion, to make the pictures. And so it's weird too. Like if you think about those Elohim or whatever they are, if those are I'm just going to call them Elohim because it sounds similar to what I talk about with the attachments. And I don't know what to call them. I know that Stephen Greer, he also talked about them, and he could explain them in a different way too. Just these like ignorant, like where people always think these things are demons and stuff. It's like, no, the demons they put on TV and stuff, that doesn't exist. Like the biggest demons that we're around are living around us. They're live beings. They just are focused on the dark. They only think in the dark. They're always thinking of what's best for them. They don't care about other people. That's the depth of darkness. When you move towards the light, this is why we're going through this, is your expansion to care about others and to understand the part you play. What you're putting out has an effect on everything and everyone. That you are a ripple, that you're a wave in the water. And so as you move into the light, it's about love and forgiveness, and it's like a different energy. And but we have all of the in us. But anyways, but your soul is still a higher vibration than this place. I don't think that, even the most rotten soul that we can think of, I don't think would just vibrate here. Like, I don't know how, it probably can't vibrate very far out if it is really just a dark, deep energy. You can't go out past your vibration. Your vibration is what holds you. You don't need to put up bars or anything. Your vibration binds you. So it's kind of your own ignorance holds you back in the spiritual part of the world. Here it does, but it's like on a micro, macro sense, so that it doesn't really, people don't know that they're ignorant. They don't know that they're being held back. It's like they accept it where they are. It's like, oh, they want to stay comfortable. They don't want to, take risks and move forward and try new things. They're scared of failure. They're scared of not being good enough. It all comes back from like being a little kid. It's so crazy how being a little kid, how you can feel like such a disappointment, and how you're not good enough, and how it can affect people for so long. It's so important to release and to see. It made you not feel good enough. It was their feeling of themselves. It didn't have to do with the person who they were making it. So that's why you have to go through to release this stuff. You have to go backwards. You have to go back into yourself, back into your past, back into your trauma, so that you can recognize what it is you hold on to. Because you're holding on to other people's problems. They have issues. They put their issue on you. Now you carry it as your issue. That becomes a generational issues. You have to recognize it too. It doesn't matter, you know, if your parents were unhealed or who was the unhealed one, because you can heal, you can let go of this stuff, you can recognize there's no reason to hold on to this. Why would I hold on to like my teenage dysfunctional mom who was being abused all the time, who, you know, said that, I mean, she had a lot of things like I could hold on to. But, you know, is it doing anybody any good? Is that truly who she was? You know, I think that is a part of, you know, why she holds on to needing forgiveness from Jesus or whatever, religion. I think a lot of people who hold on to religion really tight, they're looking for forgiveness from themselves. And they offer this forgiveness through this book. And the people hold on to their mistakes, the things that they did. And even in my mom's case, like, you got to look back and see, like, you know, I was an ignorant, abused teenager. I wasn't, you know, my best. And yeah, I hurt people. I was impatient. I was angry. I was self-centered. You know, whatever it is, you have to accept those parts of yourself. You have to let them go. And you have to see, like, it's okay to not be perfect. It's okay to, you know, be insecure. It's okay to get angry. It's okay to be all the things. Like, you're here to experience all the things. But when you see that something isn't working or isn't good, like anger, then it is this, you know, pulling it back in. Setting your own boundaries. Not putting your anger out into the rest of the room. Nobody should have to feel what you're feeling. You shouldn't make sure that the whole room has to feel whatever you're going through. So that is your advancement to yourself. That is your evolution. And so, you know, we're going through this period of time where we get all this opportunity to see ourselves, to acknowledge ourselves, to grow within ourselves, to become this new advanced you, to connect to your higher minded self, because that is you connecting to your higher vibrational aspect of self, which changes you into a more loving person. You're not holding on to all this little 3D trauma and bullshit stuff. You let go of it. You see the bigger picture. You see the overall purpose to your existence. And so in that transition, see, and that's what moves us all, is we all get into that higher minded thinking. That's what transforms our way of life on this, you know, earth plane. And then when all of that is going on, as we're expanding this one, see, it's going to open up to other ones. And I think it is going to be like, it's just going to open up the heavens. Like, we're going to open up into the heavens, but it will still be, there would still be places that would be a lower density. But the thing is, on this one, what I think is happening, like the rapture and whatnot, is that the beings that can't raise their vibration in the monkey suit, in the vehicle, they can't raise their vibration in it because, you know, I mean, if you're actively doing it, you can acknowledge it's very difficult. Healing, coming, I have been, like, these things are crawling around in my face so much, crawling around my nose, and I can't see. I'm sure there's some sort of, like, microscopic nano technology thing that, you know, we're breathing in out there. But man, oh my gosh, I keep sneezing and coughing, and I'm so congested. And I didn't get up again this morning. It's all rain. It's like, where's this rain coming from? It shouldn't even, there isn't even on our forecast. You know, weather never matches their goddamn thing. Yesterday I went outside. It was totally clear, totally blue. It was open, big sky. And then we went out for our afternoon walk. Totally. Again, and there was weird clouds that look like spaceships. There's so much clouds up there. And there was weird things that, like, the colors look split up in the sky. And I just saw a video last night over Florida. There was some big comet that came flying in that this guy got video going across. You know, and over here on the West Coast, somebody was tracking something and caught that there's a big storm that's about to hit the huge, like when they were showing how big this, I guess it's a hurricane. I don't know what it is. It's one of those things that goes around in circles out in the ocean. And it's out there right now, but it's moving towards us. And it's going to hit like, I think like from Northern California up towards Vancouver. Like the storm hits all that whole area. And so I don't know. Maybe this will be our big giant water event that's going to put a lot of places underwater. And then they're going to, I mean, in evacuations, that will, all these places where you see these evacuations, that will cause, you know, more trauma and shit. And then, so that will be turned into a giant disaster zone if that happens. But then that will also make more instability in the feel tired, tectonic plates. So everything that just keeps destabilizing them, confirmation, is everything is going to, because the shift is going to happen. It has to have. It's not like it can't have, you know, well, if we could just do this, we could make it not. No, it's going to happen. It's definitely going to happen. California is going to shift. And, you know, it's going to, how much ever it's going to be. I mean, eventually it's all going to be under. I don't know how long it's going to take for the whole map in America to change to what, because it's so extreme on parts. I don't know. I mean, fucking Africa did extreme changes overnight. So, I mean, anything can happen. And, you know, we just have no idea. But to me, the vibration here, it would be the people who are can't, you know, in the little monkey suit, you can't raise your vibration. Like the glove's too big for you. The glove doesn't fit right. The glove, you just can't get comfortable in it. Whatever the reason is, in it is there's a distraction. There's a problem. You're not working on it right, and so you can't meet the vibration. As the vibration is changing the frequency, because the planet's not going to move. It is all of us are changing the vibration. It's like what we will allow, it's like setting the standard or something, but it will actually make just like how there was things around us that we couldn't see because it was vibrating too high. It's going to be the same thing. We're going to go into that. Just like the people who are dead around us, that they're vibrating so fast that we can't see them. They can be right here and they can give us messages, but we can't see them because they're vibrating so fast. So we're moving into that kind of vibration where we are vibrating fast because we're healing, because we're coming into tune with ourselves. So we are becoming more vibrating fast. And then whatever goes on with this reset, with the cataclysm here, the big change, is I think that there's a reason why we're going to start vibrating faster. Like if we were to stay at that ignorant density and stuff, it would like wipe out mankind in the cataclysm kind of thing. It is like we have to raise our vibration in order to stay like in the game. And so, but that doesn't mean that because when we go out, it's like, to me, it seems like to me that we're raising our vibration. We're matching up to our souls. We're coming into union with ourselves, and we're meeting our vibration, and we are is kind of like detaching, unplugging from the illusion, and then your vibration, but you still have this like this thing. But the more that you start, the more you start seeing your own power, the more this vehicle, the monkey suit thing it can't affect you, because you can unplug, you can see, you can manage it, you can maintain it, you can treat it like it's a spacecraft, you know, like I said, like where you got people up there doing things. You got people talking to you and stuff. However you start trying to see it and organize your own mind. But it is like part of the process, a part of the soul coming into control over the vehicle. And that is what is kind of uncomfortable. And that is what is like all different distinct acknowledgement of reality for all the different people in their own connection to their own selves and stuff, and how it feels to everybody. Like some people, you know, they start feeling like they're chosen and stuff. But it's a part of their whatever they're here to learn, because, you know, we're coming into union with ourselves, union with one another. It's a time of unity. It's a time of coming together. That's what the light is about. We've been in separation. We've kept ourselves apart. And now we're coming into unity with ourselves. We, you know, because in the micro and macro, we were disconnected from ourselves. So all of that, we're coming into union with ourselves, coming into, there's going to be unions of partnerships. There's going to be all sorts of different, but that's what we're doing. We're coming into unions. We're coming into, we're leaving separation, and we're coming into a new experience. And so it is you're learning to maneuver through the experience, and, you know, to tune into your vehicle, to know when to unplug, and to know when and how to drive, how to keep it running, how to maintain it, to take care of it. Oh yeah, there's some weird shit with the medical stuff. I mean, there's just going to keep being weirder and weirder and weirder shit. This is going to keep coming out. I mean, we just got to keep remembering this place was way different than what we thought. So don't get hung up on, you know, thinking, and I always just keep seeing it as a game. I feel like we're in this like Sims game of life video game or something. It's just a type of game. And so some of this stuff is just so outrageous. That's what I'm saying. Some of this is like, where do these souls come up with this stuff? It's, but, you know, maybe they're, you know, just like how we have gamers in life. There's people who are just, they're incarnator gamers. They just come up with crazy ass storylines, and then they come in to experience them, you know, and the universe appreciates all creation. So those people wouldn't be weird or creepy. They're creators. They're storyline makers. Like, they come up with ways to expand and to learn and to grow. So that is, you know, I would definitely, as a soul, feel like I would have limitations on some things, because I don't like that dark stuff. And there's people who it doesn't affect them the same. So we need all types, you know, we need all types of souls. But, you know, I have a certain kind of range. I have a certain kind of role. We all have roles out here in the universe. So, but so as this is going on, as we're connecting and we're coming into union with ourselves, and we're connecting into our Holy Spirit, then it changes this vibration here, because then we are changing the illusion we're seeing through it and stuff. And then, and so it's this whole after effect, this whole dynamic expansion due to this evolution of our consciousness. It is this expansion of the universe to go out. And so that is this, you know, the cataclysm thing. It is an expansion, this reset. It's like the planet, like our Earth plane is like rolling over in bed. She's just changing her landscape. She's getting comfortable again. And then the Earth, I mean, okay, wait a second, because I saw in two, it was really cool. It's like a micro, macro of all these different layers of things that are going on. Because it's just layers of things going on. And so the universe is, okay, so she's kind of laying and she's like rolling over in bed. to get more comfortable again. And the universe is like taking a breath. It's like a breathe out, like this expansion, like when, and there's a tension building, like there's, for growth, there's this big tension building, and then there'll be an expansion, like the energy. And so that is like the universe. It's just taking a breath. It's not trying to wipe out mankind. Mankind has the opportunity as every other living, well, not every other living being has the same opportunity as mankind. Because like a tree can't stop what's being watered on it. It can't stop what the soil is being poisoned with. Just as we can't stop it, but we can make choices. We can look at things. We can try and do things differently. Like, so there's other beings that are being affected, not just us. So, but it's like a season. It's like the universe taking a breath. And then that is this reset thing. That's where the planet's going to reset. Like, it needs this breath. It needs this. It needs to breathe out. It's been like this huge abuse that has gone on for a long time. Like all this pressure building and building of not caring, not being connected to, your own planet, to your own source of enrichment, of the thing that always gets me is like, it's life. You're actually getting to experience a life, and then people have no appreciation for it because they all think theirs isn't good enough. Somebody else's has got to be better, and not even acknowledging all of the gifts that you have in your own life. Like Aunt Pearl, not everybody gets Aunt Pearl. You get her, and then you're thinking that she's not good enough because she isn't like old Uncle Dick over there. Like, you think, oh, that person, oh, they're so lucky. They've got that guy and their family, and you have lost appreciation. You're not even acknowledging what you have because you're so busy looking at what somebody else has. And everybody's always looking, because bet your ass there's somebody who wishes they had that Aunt Pearl. We have to learn to be present in our own lives and to acknowledge and appreciate the people that we have in them and what they're there to bring for us. Because these are all important souls to us outside of here. But it seems to me that it's going to be this expansion. All of us, this expansion is what blows the firmament. It's this breath out that blows it. But to me, when it blows in the ice wall and stuff, it opens us up, because there's lots of, if you were to go way, way out and look down at this plane, like whatever we're on, our land mass is a part of something way bigger. There's a whole bunch more water and land masses outside of here. It just keeps going. But everything is layers of opportunity, of realities and realms. It isn't, it is like, it's layers. It isn't, I don't know how else to explain it. It's just like layers. And so, all the different kinds of ways of living and stuff, because there's inner earth, there's inner earth people. I guess there's inner earth reptilian people too. Like there's all sorts of different realities and different experiences in it. So but when this goes, like, it would affect all the different ones differently. Like, there could be ones, and they don't even, I'm sure there's people who live on the inner earth and they don't call it earth. They just live in their reality, in their space, just like the little tide pools. They're in their own little tide pool. And so, they're not thinking about what's going on the surface of earth. They're just in their tide pool, living their tide pool. And so nothing would change for them. Maybe they would have a storm or something. Maybe there would be some kind of thing, but there's places that it would just stay the same. Here, we're having this giant expansion. So it is like all of us expanding and coming into this union with ourselves, into this collective consciousness. It sends out this vibration that, you know, bust out the firmament. Because like I was going to say, is if you went up above this top layer of where we are on this landmass, you would see that there's other globes. There's other containments. And it has to do with vibration. It has to do with the experience and the vibration. So there's other ones of those. So then once we bust it open, then to me it is like the whole thing out there isn't like space, like what they have showed us and told us. It is way more of just this energetic, and there's other places and things. It's like being in the water. It's like being in the ocean. It's like if we were in the ocean, if we were in a bubble and the bubble popped and we were in the ocean, and then all of a sudden we're in the ocean, and there's all these different things. There's different places you can go live. There's different kinds of creatures. There's all sorts of different things. That is what it's going to be like. That is why we have to come into this of realizing that we're like spiritual beings. Like this world is not this world. The world that we exist in is far greater than this little game that we come into. And so it is like we're going to open up to that real world, to the real expansion of all the realms and stuff. But since we are doing this expansion to connect with our soul, then we are more like our soul being, more like our higher self. So it is your vibration goes higher, but your acceptance is that like you have a more acceptance for other beings. You don't think of them as like monsters and you're scared and stuff. So because you're more connected to yourself, and you start seeing that we're all just souls. We're all just energy living and experiencing. And in the living and experiencing, we are creating and expanding. And so it is what makes the universe, and what keeps the whole universe going is us. Just like we keep this system going, all of our souls keep the universe going by coming and having all these experiences, creating all these weird storylines and stuff. So, anyways, that is where I think it comes with this, the living and the dead walking on heaven on earth and all that stuff, is because of we become more in connect with who we are at our center, our core. We become more focused on our soul and on our spirit than in the other part of this three-dimensional experience. And connecting with our soul brings us more into that higher vibration of where we are in the heavens. Like, I don't know if we would be able to actually meet our natural vibration, or if this place would always be somewhat lower, but you're gonna still have, things are gonna open up where you would be able to travel to match your vibration. Wherever you would be able to travel to, it will have to do with your vibration, what you are open to. And I don't know if that is the ascension, only ones that reach this point of being able to go out and travel, or if the other ones will still be kind of contained. And is we have to meet that thing with our soul. But the ones who are not matching it, not doing the healing stuff, they're going to keep falling off. They're going to keep leaving the game. They're not going to stay with it, because that's the thing. That's what doesn't make sense about the rapture. And it doesn't matter if I tell my mom, she just always will try and come up with some kind of thing. Like, people in a cult, they always have to just try and, it's like, talk themselves out of logic. But to me, it's like, well, why would God rapture and take out all the people and then make it heaven on earth? Like, why would he take the best people? Why would he take all of his people off and then make the earth heaven on earth? Why would you go up and leave the earth? I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me. So to me, the rapture, or all the people leaving, are the people who can't keep up with the vibration. They can't do the work. They can't keep up. But that doesn't mean it's a flaw in their soul. It's a flaw and you don't even know it's a flaw, because people come here and just play parts. You don't even know if that's just like in life, how we don't know who's the good guy, who's the bad guy. That's how it is in the soul thing. They're playing parts. They're not really the bad guy. So, anyways, the people who leave and stuff, that's what I'm saying. That you don't have to sit here and worry and think like they're low vibration. Now I'm going to go to the age of Aquarius. I'm never going to see them again. They're going to be trapped in this 3-dimensional hell. It's so horrible. No, because their soul vibrates higher than this. When they leave here, they go higher. They go out. They go up a higher vibration. So we're going higher vibration. So we're going to go up and meet where they are. So, and it's our minds expanding. It's us opening our minds to see the truth. Hold on. Stinky. Oh, Lord, girl. God, she's had some serious gas problems lately. Wow. It's got to be. It's got to be whatever environmental shit they did us over here. It's like, god damn. And all this rain and shit that, comes from nowhere. It obviously is just a vehicle to get more poison. It's not clearing anything out. It's just bringing more down. God, I can't wait. God, I hope the banks are all crashing. Ugh. There's no way to know really we gotta wait and see what's going to happen on Monday. There's so many people who are just like, I don't know. It seems like there's a lot of people expecting the world to just end today or something. It's like the endings are the system. It's the system that's ending. The landscape is changing. The systems are ending. In the human, the spirits, the living beings, the eternal beings are evolving. So but all these people are just, all these people are waiting on the rapture. These other people think like it's the end of the world. These other people think we're all going to end up in camps, in this horrible dystopian world. It's like, no, this is all an expansion. This is all a purging. This is all a seeing, to see where we were headed, to see, and to not just see, but to feel the impact of our choices, the consequences of where we were headed, the consequences of what we were doing, of living like shallow and stuff like that. Now we're experiencing the consequences so that we can grow. We can decide, is it worth it? How do we want to live? What is it we want from life? And so it's all of, it's like a necessary, it's a necessary evolution to change. And things are changing. They're not staying the same. And so we have to change. So we have to expand. But what we're going into, because of how all of it works together, because of how we grow, because of how we change, because of who we are, as we go through these traumas and we grow and we expand and we come together, that is what creates the new world. You can't stop this. Even when they were trying, and they were trying everything they could to try and get us to not wake up, to keep us in this slave mode. And no matter what happens, we wake up, because it's a universal action. It's something that was always going to happen. People are here for this. All these incarnations are here for this expansion. And so whatever anyone's getting out of it, they came here for it and they completed what they came to do. Oh, I just saw this weird fucking crash video. Like this stuff just keeps getting weirder and weirder. And it was a motorcycle going through a neighborhood, and it was brick houses. There's some cute houses like this in Spokane, so I don't have any idea where this was. And he must have been going super fast, and it must have been like a doorbell camera, because you only saw these two houses, and it's super fast. But he comes and he leaves the ground, and instead he goes up the sides of this house. So he's going super fast. So he's like in his flip, he's hitting into these houses. And so then he, you know, this part that you don't see, he might, like, you don't probably want to see it. But when he goes into the houses, oh my God. And they're brick houses, and it just is like, oh my gosh. Like, if there would have been somebody sitting in the living room watching TV, they probably got killed. Like, it is crazy to see what this motorcycle can do at high speed to a brick house on two of them. And I'm sure that guy, you know, didn't have a good outcome. But now, you know, knowing about the brain dead thing and just knowing, like, you just got to give people time to heal. It's just, it's so sickening. And to know they're just like booting people out of their vehicle so that they can take parts. There's parting all these vehicles out and then just kicking people out of them. Just like they're on the macro, kicking them out and kicking us out of our houses, telling us we don't deserve that space. They've come right out and said the only part of us they want is our energy. Like, they don't give a shit. They don't want the consumer part. They don't want this part of us that is just this empty consumption vehicle. That is a big part too of, you know, coming into your awakening is your consumption. What are you taking in? What are you bringing it in for? And that is the description, the representation of obesity in our civilization right now, is so that we can see it is off banner, is off kilt, it's off balance, and see the problems. Like, the problems are obvious, the problems are apparent, the problems are all around us. All the problems, you should be able to go out and see, like, well, I have that problem for sure, I better work on that. It's quite obvious. You know, whatever the problems are, they should be becoming quite apparent to you. Should be highlighted. You should be able to see them clearly. Let me let her back in. Did you go potty, Tinky lady? You don't feel good. No, it's not time to eat. No, I'm not getting food right now. No, I'm doing this. She always goes in there. She always there every time she goes out the door. She thinks, well, can you give me a treat? And now I'm all concerned, like, if the treats are what's upsetting her stomach. Because even if it was the medicine, she changes bottles sometimes. Like, the bottles only last a few days. So, you know, I would think if it wouldn't be the medicine, but it could be the treats, because there's way more treats in the thing. Or it could be that she's eaten a bunch of them and maybe her guts are just like fed up with them. Maybe they lodge parts and stuff. Like, I don't know. You try and find healthy treats for them and stuff, and it's just like this toxic world, man. And they're out to kill our animals because they know it traumatizes us. So they want us to have, you know, sick pets, and then they, you know, come up with veterinarian practices so they can make money off of their health too. And then it's just the same kind of system, and they don't have insurance. So you got to go pay thousands of dollars to get some. It's just, oh, this whole system is just draining. It just drains our energy. It just pulls us to be deflated and empty feeling and beat down. And, you know, and it's hard when you keep seeing it, you know, and it's frustrating when it's like, well, what are we supposed to do? But that is our consequences. That is the part where we have to feel the pain of the, you know, our choices that we made. We're all feeling different impacts in different ways of what this world has become, you know, where we were cut off from ourselves and, you know, allowing certain things to go on around us. I don't remember if I said that thing that I saw. in the video, I have seen some other good videos. It does seem like that there's stuff happening. What was it? There's something with, the 24th. I can't even remember all the different things that I keep seeing of, I saw a video, in Canada, though, where Zelensky, he must be making the rounds to go and ask everybody for money. It's all a big fucking show. I kind of feel sorry for the guy. He seems like he was just like some sort of a sex worker, actor, kind of like, I don't know, like the videos that come out with him, it's just like, I don't know, like he was OnlyFans or something. I mean, like kind of like that level, just kind of, just out there making money, dancing around and stuff. I think Mike Pence was like that too, I swear. But I don't know. That could be a picture that someone's put Mike Pence's head on. But I don't know. There's a lot of weird shit with Mike Pence. And there's accusation that when you go and read about the accusations on him from his, the traffic accusing things, he's bad. He's rotten. He's rotten. And, but Zelensky, it seems like he is like some insecure, he's a fall guy. It's just sad. They just get these fall guys. I just saw this whole thing about the Watergate and Nixon. Nixon was just like what they're doing to Trump. That's what they did to Nixon, because he started saying that he knew who killed JFK, and he started seeing there was a hidden truth, and he wanted the people to get to know. So as soon as he had called in the head of CIA investigator and said that he knew who killed him, it was right away. Watergate, all of it. It was like, I think the same day they started doing shit to him. So, that's the thing, is anybody who gets into around these people and you try and say, hey, what's up? And will wipe you out. They'll take you down. And that's the thing, what's going on with Russell Brand right now. It's like, fuck, that's a hard one. Like you have all these people who are all going all in on that he is speaking the truth, so all these girls are lying. And then you have people who are getting so mad about, you just want to believe it because he's saying certain things, and you want to not believe in these girls now. So you got all this division going, but it's all part of the awakening. It's all part of the conversation to get people to whatever they're going to wake up to, whatever you spend your time in conversation about, and trying to, weed through information. I hope what is being said isn't true. I mean, he's out there, it's not like he's hiding or anything. And, he was a drug addict. He was a sex addict. I'm sure he has done some stuff. But, I don't know. I mean, there's also a thing on some of these guys, these famous guys, that these girls, this video, I swear to God, it corrupted my mind. I was like, what in the fuck? God, Hollywood is a creep-ass place. Go look. There's a short. It's on YouTube. It's a short. Who Mila Kunis has dated. And it keeps being all these short things that always come up on my thing. And I don't even remember why, whatever the little thing, and caught my thing where I was like, well, I wonder, I don't know, it was a picture of somebody or something, and I wanted to see who it was. So I watched it. It's only, I don't know, maybe it's like 30 seconds or 60 seconds. It's real short. Oh my God. And especially when you realize, she was 14 years old when she was 14. There's interviews, this stuff is coming out because of Danny Masterson and stuff, and she dated him. And he is, but so when she started on the show, she was 14 or 15. And they were all joking and stuff, and they were all 19 and 20. So they were already perving on the teenage girls. To me, you need to stay in your age range. Even if is that the girls that were over here and stuff, they're like, well, I don't like young guys. I just want to go out with older guys. What do you think about that or whatever? I'm like, no, you need to stick to your own age. Like, you don't realize it. If you're going to go out and date guys that are a lot older than you, you're going to get a lot of them trying to train you of who you need to be, shaming you on all the things you do that is childlike and stuff. You need to be around the people that are going or through the similar kind of things, like dating guys your own age, not guys that now, they're all grown up. They're out of high school. These are professional working men. And, you're a 15-year-old girl, you're going to get a lot of, don't do that. No, no, that's not what you talk about. No, you got to, you need to go out and discover you, not be trained by some older guy who needs to control young, cute girls. But when you see, like, whenever she started dating, like Danny Masterson, he's the first one jumping on that. Like, was she 15, 16? Because this guy, he's got 30 years for his problems. And then it's just like one after another. You just got to go in and see. It was like, oh my God. I had no idea she'd even dated all these guys. Like, man, she was really making the rounds. But then it's like all those, it's the other way around. All those guys wanted to go and date her. She's young. And how young she must have been. And I don't know. I can go watch it and see how it affects you. I was just like, oh my God. This is like some young teenage girl just getting handed around. And then her just, I think that there's so many girls that go into Hollywood with such low self-esteem that they just allow themselves to be abused. Oh, no, you're not pretty enough for this. No, you need to lose 15 pounds. Like, they're treated like meat. They're treated like they're nothing. And they're willing to accept that. And then they just want, to be famous. They just want somebody to like them. They just want somebody to appreciate them or something. It's like a desperation. And that gets so used. Like, the Hollywood takes that and just uses it. And just, crushes some of these people. I don't know. I mean, hers and Ashton's whole thing, is all blowing up. I mean, he's all a part of this whole organization, him and Demi. Like, that's why all these people are going to keep being exposed. You're going to keep seeing the truth. But Jesus Christ. Just like, oh my God, this young, cute girl gets in this show, and then she just, one guy's dating her this long, and then the next one jumps in, and the next one jumps in, the next one jumps in into, a girl who is young, and, all the boys at high school are dopey, and, I'm sure that they'd look at her life and go like, oh my God, she's so lucky. Look at all the cool guys she gets to go out with. But to me, it's like, I don't know. I mean, certainly, I'm sure she's more developed into herself over all this time. I'm sure she's been through a lot of different traumas and stuff. And I'm sure this is so common for so many of these girls that go and get into Hollywood at a young age, where these old guys just want to use them. It's just, I don't know. But it has to be like, these changes has to be where the old guys stop wanting to treat people that way. Stop wanting to use girls instead of wanting to, build them up. Don't shame them, because I'm guaranteed that is what older guys do to younger girls. And I'm sure that older women who go with younger guys, it's the same dynamic. They're telling them, of what is appropriate, how they should be, how they should act. Don't do that. That's, they're trying to speed up their growing up to create a caricature that is complementary to you, instead of allowing them to become themselves. So it's a way to control. It's a way to control your world. It's a way to control your environment. And the only reason you need to control others and control outside of you is when you feel weak inside of you. When you don't feel good about yourself, when you feel weak, when you don't feel like you're nothing, you've got to start controlling others and other things and other situations. So Those are all things, to just notice in yourself. And it's not like, no matter what your dysfunctions are, it's not like you're worse or something than anybody else. Uh, you know, those are the things that you're here to work on, to see. If you notice, like, all, I do this, I do that, I do this, I do that, like all these different things, don't be down on yourself and just think, oh, like, I'm a mess. I'm never gonna, I may as well just give up. I'll just stay here in low vibration and just go away with everybody else. I mean, if you did that, that would be what you were always going to do. But, if you want to make the changes, is just take on one thing at a time. Just like if you're a couple 100 pounds overweight, don't just sit there and go, like, I gotta lose a couple 100 pounds, I gotta lose a couple. No, just be like, I want to get healthy, and it's gonna make me feel better. I'm gonna lose 10 pounds. I'm gonna focus on losing 10 pounds. After you do that, reevaluate. You want to lose 10 more? You want to lose 20 more? Just always take it in small. Don't overwhelm yourself with something big. So on your personality defects or your insecurities or your, the parts of you that got out of sync, then just take them little by little. And the universe is there for you. Like, your triggers are going to come. There's going to be little things that happen, and they'll space it out for you. If you're, participating, you'll get a trigger, and then you'll go in and have to deal with your, your response. And always the best thing to do is go deeper into it to try and figure out why you're triggered. What in the world did this person do to make you respond that way? Going deeper into it so you can get to the core, so you can release it. And that is, I feel like I'm going and repeating myself now. So now I was like, okay, I gotta go. Let me think if there was something else. I'll come back later and I'll do the live. That is fun when more people and more people coming in. But some people need it later and some people need it earlier. I'll try and do it. Well, I'll put this one on, and the one from yesterday is still downloading, so I don't know how long this will take to download. And then once it gets downloaded, then I'll start getting more ready. But I'll maybe, like, I don't know, around noon or something, noon or 1, like that, I'll go live. But there could be stuff that goes on and that I want to talk about it, and I'll go live sooner. I don't know. I'll just kind of go later on, after this one finishes downloading, then I'll start. And then I don't know if it is good to, like, put out a warning, like, I'm going to go live at this time, if that helps people, so that if they want to be there, because people were getting to meet people. And we did have a guy come in, Andrew, who said he was 16, and he was trying to, tell us that reincarnation isn't real, there's one true God and all that stuff. And then he said he was 16. I don't know. But I feel like that people are led, I'm sure he was trying to tell us something, but I'm sure that some seeds got planted for him, because that is the way the universe works. It may draw you in where you think you're doing something, but really it's giving you something else. So anyways, all of this different stuff that is happening, just, use your time wisely, and every of the little things. Don't overwhelm yourself. Don't think like, well, I'm narcissist, I'm borderline, I've got attention deficit, I've got neurodivergent, I'm autistic, like all of your diagnoses and stuff. There's certain characteristics or traits. You can, you get to decide what you keep and what you don't want. And is the facing this stuff is where you can release this stuff. And that is just a release. That's just letting go of stuff. But there are other things where you are reevaluating yourself and how you feel about things. But if you're in contact with your guides and stuff, they'll walk you through it. They'll take you through it. Something will happen. You get triggered. You try, you take time, unplug, take time to yourself, try and understand, go in deeper, and ask them. Always be asking them. Always ask for clarity. Ask them what you need to see. Ask them to help you see what you need to see and stuff. And then sometimes if you're not able to see, then another thing will happen, or something will come on a TV show and it will remind you of something. Like they're always trying to communicate, but you got to keep your mind open in your awareness and see. Like they communicate through music, they communicate through other people. I mean, a stranger saying something to you, and then you're like, what? And then they're like, they didn't even say anything. It was all in your imagination or something. Like this place is trippy. And so it's like, did they really say it? And then they had no awareness of it? Or was it all in your mind? You know, it's, but this world, this game, this ride is for you. So it's your ride. It's your game. But you gotta, you know, start realizing you gotta pull free from the other game and focus on the other one. It's like, it's kind of like, reading the rules of the game. It's like really getting serious about the game and reading the rule book, not just going in and playing it. I'm getting confirmation. Okay, guys. So I'll be back later this afternoon. I'll go live and we'll chit chat. And then, yeah, it's cool because people get to meet each other and stuff. So anyways, I'll talk to you later. Bye.